So Ben Kingsley learns, is it better to be immortal or is it better to eventually die? Selfless, directed by Tarsem Singh, the man who directed The Immortals. This movie stars Ben Kingsley as Damien. He's an aging architect who has cancer. He's 68 years old and he has cancer and he has very little time to live. But he wants to achieve more out of his life of being a ruthless architect and a ruthless businessman. So he finds out about this new revolutionary science experiment called shedding, created by a man named Dr. Albright, played by Matthew Good. Matthew Good tells Damien that he can move Damien's consciousness into the body of a much younger man. With this new younger body, he can achieve more, he can live longer, he can have a longer life and do more than he could if he just stays in his old body and eventually die. Damien decides he will do this experiment. He will move his consciousness into the body of this younger man, Ryan Reynolds' body. And when Albright does this, Damien wakes up with this new body smell, as he likes to call it, and he's given this great life. The price so far is that he has to leave his old life behind. He has to make it look like he died, and they're going to record his death in obituaries and everything, and that's it. He starts living the high life in New Orleans, getting girls, and living the perfect life that he once wanted, and then maybe later on he can go back to being an architect and being a ruthless businessman, but in this much younger body. But then he finds out more about this body that he's in. And he finds out that this body may not have been grown in a lab when he sees these memories in his head. Memories that are supposed to go away whenever he takes these red pills. And he starts trying to find out the truth behind these visions in his head. This is when he meets up with Natalie Martinez's character Madeline and her daughter Anna. And it gets deeper into a rabbit hole of a web and very action-packed part of the movie, and I did like this movie. This movie is very good. Ben Kingsley, for what little time he has in this movie, since he's only in the first act, is very good. I really did like his character. Then you have Ryan Reynolds, who I think is a very underrated actor. I really think he's a very good actor, even though he's had a few bad movies like Blade Trinity, X-Men Origins Wolverine, and Green Lantern, even though I did like Green Lantern. I do think he has very good range in movies like The Woman in Gold, and I think he's going to be great when he does the Deadpool movie in February. So when I heard about this movie, I was really excited, and I really wanted to see how good this movie was going to be. And it is a very good movie. Matthew Good is great as the villain. I really did like him, and I hope to see more movies where he is a villain. I really liked seeing Ryan Reynolds as an action hero. He was very good at doing that, and I did like the fact that it's a sci-fi action movie, even though I was expecting it to be a sci-fi thriller, but I didn't mind it being a sci-fi action movie instead. Natalie Martinez, I think, is very good in this movie as well. I thought her character was very good, and Victor Garber plays Damien's best friend in the movie. He's very good, what little bit he has in the film. And this whole movie was pretty good. The negatives, let's talk about the negatives. The negatives is that even though this movie had a little bit of original idea of moving one person's consciousness into another person's body, the problem is that it has a lot of unoriginal ideas in it. There's a little bit from The Fugitive when you see Ryan Reynolds on the run from these people behind the experiment. There's a little bit of Total Recall in this movie. because he's on the run, and this is an action movie, and he finds out he can be a fighter in this body, and he's trying to find out why and everything. So there was a little bit of Total Recall from that, especially when you find out that Natalie Martinez's character is Latino, and the woman in Total Recall was Latino. I'm talking about Sharon Stone, the other woman. And despite the fact that this movie takes tropes from other films, I didn't really mind that. I felt this movie had its own identity, despite the fact it was taking plot points from other movies. I really felt like it was able to do its own thing with those plot points, and that was pretty good. So overall, I think this is a very good action-packed thrill ride. I'm going to give this movie a B. I do recommend this movie, and I think it's a good, fun movie to watch. Definitely check this movie out.